And now, the number 9 position, scrum-half. We've got Zak Burger from Vodacom Bulls. Thank you for wearing your shorts.
Thank you.
Love your work. Back.
Hot.
Short shorts, hot. You need to tell me your job because there's a lot of questions around that. So first and foremost, number 9 on the field, what is your gig? This is 1 to 15, made just for you by BrightRock. We've teamed up with the Vodacom Bulls to bring you all the details on what exactly rugby players do.
I feel like a number 9 is obviously the link between the backs and the forwards. You kind of listen more to the backs. You listen to your 10, your outside backs, your centers, your fullback. They kind of give you direction, and you normally can't see what they can see from an outside perspective. So you more listen to them, and then your forwards obviously need to be the boss to them, boss them around and kind of control them. So you're kind of the boss of the forwards, if I can put it that way.
Do they know that?
I think they know it, but they don't want to accept it. It's kind of funny that the smaller guys obviously need to give direction to the bigger guys.
The big, well-rounded oaks. Okay.
Exactly.
So in terms of your physical attributes, your skill sets, what does a scrummy have to do?
Normal skill sets would obviously need to be quick agility, a lot of endurance. You obviously run a lot during the game, and then your passing, your kicking is skill sets you obviously need to be good at. Pass a lot in the game, you kick a lot in the game, and then your fitness obviously I think one of the most important things as a 9. You need to be quick to the rucks, give quick ball to the backs or the forwards. I think that's something you need to be obviously very fit.
And do you have to be short?
I think most scrum-halves is obviously short.
There are some outliers, but
yeah. So obviously you've got Mike Phillips back in the day. He's not playing anymore. Conor Murray. They kind of the taller scrum-halves, the 1.9 meter scrum-halves. Obviously you need to be close to the ground. You need to get to the ruck, pick up the ball a lot. So it's a lot of bending down. And from my personal experience, the longer the passage of play goes on, your lower back, obviously your hamstrings, your quads.
As a scrummy now.
As a scrummy, you feel it a lot. So I think the taller you are, obviously you need to bend down a lot further. Obviously impacts.
Might not be as quick to get down.
Exactly. In general, I think most of us is very short. Yes.
Okay, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We want that. I guess the question that probably comes up a lot is box kicks.
Yeah.
What's the deal with number 9 and box kicks? Can you first explain a box kick and then why it's important?
So the box kick is obviously the kick you give. It's normally contestable. You can obviously kick long as well. There's a lot of older guys that think number 9 just kick the ball to kick it away. That's not the point of it. In certain areas of the field, you want to release pressure. You don't want to put yourself under pressure a lot, and that's kind of the best way. A box kick normally contestable, so it's 50-50 in the air, especially now with the new rule as well. We call it escort. Kind of form a glove. Normally they form the glove in front of the catch of the other team.
So the glove is players standing in front
of him, working back. So it normally wasn't really a 50-50
because you can set it up.
Exactly. Okay. But the new rule now is you can't form that glove. So it's more of a 50-50 contest, obviously, in the air. That's just a good way to release pressure, put other teams under pressure. And then normally if you get that ball in the air, if you kick the ball, it's a good chance. The defense isn't set, so it's easier to attack from there. Obviously, scramble a bit. There's normally space in the backfield, maybe.
How do you decide that, I guess, in the moment?
Either kick of 9. If the 10 wants the ball, maybe he's seeing space in the backfield. I think what's nice from our point of view, we have 2 fullbacks that are left-footed. So if it's in the middle of the field, you can obviously use your 10. That's a right-footer. You've got Willie and Devin that's left-footer, so that's easier to kick from them as well. And then your 10 can kick contestables as well. It's normally open side, but it's mostly to release pressure from your side. You've been under pressure.
So you're helping everyone.
Exactly. Putting pressure back onto them, and then obviously you can get attacking opportunities from there as well.
From a scrum-half perspective, box kicks are good. We like them. We should not hate on them.
Yes, and I understand people think we're just kicking the ball away, but we're not. People obviously want to see attacking rugby and just ball in hand rugby, but unfortunately sometimes need to go back to
change tactics a bit.
And kick the ball a bit, yes.
And in terms of the banter, you mentioned now the scrum, if the fly-off wants the ball and then you have to boss the forwards.
Yes.
How important is, not banter, communication. How important is that when being a scrummy? I mean, you've never seen a quiet scrummy.
No, I haven't. I think it's funny. In Afrikaans they call it kort mannetjie syndrome. So I think it's a thing, and especially a 9, you have the ball. You probably touch the ball the most. I feel like very important to communicate it well with your forwards, your backs, so that everyone obviously knows what you expect from them. Everyone's on the same page, and it just makes your job a lot easier. Yes.
And also the banter to the other team. Like, do you get in their heads? Is that also part of your job?
I don't think it's part of your job, but it kind of just happens sometimes in a game. You kind of more of the stirrer, and then when a fight breaks out, you just give a step back, and then the bigger oaks.
So you know you do that?
Yes,
Okay,
we know we do that.
Just checking. I love that you're very self-aware. That's very important.
Yeah, exactly.
Rugby is also a mental game. I love that. In life, in general life, at home, medi family, are you a stirrer as well?
I think sometimes, yes. I like to stir the pot a bit, especially my mom. But we're kind of the same person. Both of us is never wrong. So if we obviously in a debate and I know maybe I'm wrong, don't tell her I'm wrong. I'm going to keep going and I'm going to push her buttons. But
probably your biggest supporter when you're out here, eh?
Exactly. She's a very big supporter of mine, but sometimes I like to push her buttons.
We love it. We love moms.
Yeah,
we love that.
We love it.
Ali kort mannetjies specifically. On that, let's get S&C coach Andre from Vodacom Bulls in to chat about that kort mannetjie syndrome. All right, scrum-halves obviously full to the brim with personality and quirks and other things. But in terms of skill sets, what is trained into them from your side?
I think running fitness is very important, especially at the Bulls. Zak will run quite a lot. He'll run anything between 18 and 22 kilometers a week, which is quite high for a 9, quite high in our system. But he needs to be very, very fit. Aerobically, he needs to be probably the fittest guy that we have on the field.
How do you do that? Is that, does he physically go for like 5K runs or is there other ways of doing it?
During training, they'll run quite a lot. They'll run on the side. If they're not part of the training session, they'll do sprints on the side of the field and do a lot of repeat efforts.
And what's his skill set? What do you admire from him in terms of that?
His decision making is really, really good. And he has because he's so fit, he has the ability to do the right thing most of the time.
Is that something we can train in the gym?
Not in the gym, Zak. I think it's more on the field. Gym-wise, we'll work on his legs quite a lot, jumping, running, getting his legs nice and strong, his core, and then his upper body, his shoulders. Because at the ruck, the forwards will bash him when they come over the ruck. So he needs to be strong enough to be in a low position to get the ball out and get it to the 10.
That's what you mentioned.
Yeah.
Injury-wise, you mentioned your back as well. Is that something like the locks maybe, or is that something common in scrummies, or do they have Alice?
I think it's like a catcher in a baseball team. They're always low, like a wicket keeper in cricket. They're always low at the ground, and they do a lot of squat movement, so they need to be very low. And that's what I think we work quite a lot on him and his hip mobility.
That's again what you call it, the bands, or is it what?
Yeah, we'll use that with him. But he needs really strong legs and a strong glutes to be in those positions and get out of it quite quickly.
And what do you enjoy doing in the gym?
I'm not actually a fan of the gym that much.
I feel anyone is.
For me, especially like Coach mentioned, mobility is key for me. In a training session, if we run a lot and obviously bending down, if I didn't stretch properly my lower back, my glutes or whatever, I can feel it in the training session. So for me, stretching in the evenings as well, and then before training sessions, just to be as loose as possible. And then obviously the running and stuff just comes naturally and easier.
What are some of the misconceptions when it comes to scrum-half and their fitness levels or their skill sets?
No, I don't think there's a misconception. Yeah, they run a lot and they normally bring a vibe.
It really is like that,
yeah. And they're very energetic, so they bring a lot of vibe to the team in the gym and outside. So I quite enjoy working with them because they bring some atmosphere.
And Zak specifically?
He's got a lot of energy. He's got a lot of energy.
I don't ask you, I ask Andre.
Just backing myself.
Andre, thank you so much. Let's play the bounce. I've got 3 super random questions for you. When people say scrum-halves are like Jack Russells, does that bother you at all?
Not at all. It's obviously a smaller dog as well. They're very energetic. They punch above their weight, definitely. And like I mentioned, I think Jack Russell is a lot of barking, maybe not a lot of fight. If it gets to that point, I've seen Jack Russells where they bark at a gate and then there's another dog at the other side, and when they open the gate, but he still stays behind the gate barking, not going to the dog. So I think that's a little bit like us. So
you relate to the actual dog, okay? So no offense.
No.
How, I guess, smart do you think you are?
That's a difficult question. I think I'm not book smart. I maybe didn't study that hard as well, but I feel like in general, rugby-wise, 30 seconds, I feel like I'm a quite 30 seconds player.
Noted.
You're
slim.
Not too
bad.
Okay.
Yeah. And then lastly, who's your celebrity lookalike?
We went to go and watch Robbie Williams, and there was an older couple behind me, and they kind of tapped me on the back and they asked me, who do you look like? And I said, well, I don't know. And they said, Dricus du Plessis. And I thought it's the body, but apparently not. It's more of the face. And this morning as well, below, we went to Seattle, and the guy asked me, do you know who you look like? And me just jokingly said Dricus du Plessis because that's what I heard 2 evenings back. So yeah, apparently I look like Dricus du Plessis. Dankie, Dirk.
And that is a scrum-half. Thank you so much, Zak.
Yes.
Good luck.